Kyle Hunter here, aka Hunt Dividends, at Hunt Dividends Twitter. You can find me on Twitter there at Hunt Dividends. You can also follow along here, subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Hunter of Dividends YouTube channel. I hope everybody has a great 4th of July. Happy 4th. Hope you have a great day celebrating with your family and friends. But let's also take a look at a dividend stock here. I'm going to take a look here at Altria Group. MO, ticker symbol MO. I know this one's not as exciting as some dividend growth stocks even, but it's gotten to a level where I really want to talk about this one. This is an investment that I have been adding to here recently. This is a recent purchase of mine. It's been one I've eyeballed for a while, and I know I've kind of gotten into it. We'll be continuing to dollar cost average in, depending on how it performs. Now, we're looking at a chart dating all the way back to 1985 here on Yahoo Finance. And if you look at the price now, 42.25, it actually, Altria was 45.25 back in 1997. There's been lots of, obviously, with some of the concerns about litigation. And then recently, the drop off here was about the Juul e-cigarette issues. I think that was overblown to a degree because that's not really contributing to their bottom line at this point. Having said that, there's certainly plenty of risks that comes with investing in Altria, and that's why you see a chart like you do here. On the 5-year, it was actually up about 70. Now it's down to 42. We saw it get up as high here as 87 back in 2007 and down to as low as about 15, I believe. So Altria has had quite the ride. The dividend yield right now, 8.52%. Look, you guys know that I love dividends. I assume if you're watching this, you do as well. 8.52% is really hard to ignore. I wanted to take a look at Simply Safe Dividends here. They rate it 55, which is borderline safe for dividend safety. Remember, the dividend yield, 8.52%. Look at the beta, 0.30. This one does not move nearly as much as the market. This is a pretty good defensive play, in my opinion, compared to average. The recession return was negative 20% when the S&P was down 55%. Now, the dividend growth here, the last 5 years has been 8%. The last one was 4.7. I do think that their dividend will grow more here. If you look at the payout ratio of 76%, they've stated that they want to pay a higher percentage than that. So I'm going to believe them and think that Altria will be raising this dividend here going forward. I don't think it's going to be a massive dividend growth story, but this has been a company that has consistently been growing earnings here lately. They've done a good job with costs. If we go down and look at shares outstanding, there are fewer shares, which I like to see. Sales have been gradually growing, certainly not a fast growing company. I don't think anybody would buy this because of its growth. The margins are tremendous, doing a great job. I think that's being well run. The interest coverage is pretty solid at 10.14. So I think Altria, there's a lot of things to like about it. Let's look at Fast Graphs here now. This was Simply Safe Dividends, which I highly recommend. And also Fast Graphs, a tremendous product here. If you look at operating earnings, historically, this is the blue line is where they usually trade at a PE of about 14.08. That would put its price at the end of this year at 68.30. Now, I don't think that this will hit 68.30 by the end of the year. It'd be great if it does, because I know a lot of dividend investors have this one, including myself. But I don't think that's likely to happen. Having said that, if you look at where it has traded usually and where it is now, and the dividend yield being as high as it is, I think this looks like a pretty good value right now. If we look at sales, here it's trading about at the average. So not as much of a amazing looking value here as it was on earnings. If you look at free cash flow, then again, it looks like a very good deal. The free cash flow right now is trading at a blended 9.29. This has typically been up in the area of 15, 14.52. So let's look at forecasting this one out a little bit here with Fast Graphs. I really like this. The free cash flow would suggest that the average number, the price would be by 2024, 73.69. Even if you go with a very conservative 9 times, you got an annual rate of return of 10.5%. And the very bottom one, or the worst case scenario, including this forecasting. Obviously, this is forecasting. I mean, this is no guarantee. You should definitely do your own due diligence on this. But this one, even there, is 4.27 rate of return. If you look at adjusted operating earnings here in fast graphs, again, we see an impressive looking chart, even at the worst, 7.1% annual rate of return, and at the average, 35.545% rate of return. So in Altria, I think we have a stock that is hated by many right now. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with going against the grain. I assume you are too if you're a dividend investor. So I think at this point, Altria is a good look, getting a dividend yield of 8.52%, forward PE of just 8.6. This one has been thrown out a lot right now. I think that the payout ratios are fairly high, but they've stated that they want it to be higher than this. The free cash flow only 79%. I think they'll probably be up in the 85% range. So look for Altria to grow its dividend a little bit. We're not really buying this one for price appreciation as much, but I do think this one is undervalued. It's traded in a range pretty often. Here we are about the bottom of that range. So I like Altria Group here. I think it's a good thing to be adding at 8.52% forward dividend yield. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like Altria? Do you already own this one? Are you thinking about buying this one a little bit more as it goes forward, or do you not like Altria, and why? If you have any other stocks you'd like me to cover, look through with Simply Safe Dividends and Fast Graphs, drop them below. Give this a thumbs up. I'd certainly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Everybody have a great 4th of July, and we'll see you again soon.